What is up, Panic Squad? Today, trying something a little bit different with our camera angle. My camera is physically attached to me right now. But we are going to go ahead and go over probably one of my favorite decks in the history of ever for the game of Elestrals. With Sunstrike being fast upon us, so the day of filming this, tomorrow is our local game store's pre-release event, and I'm super excited for it, ready to go, ready to play some games, but I wanted to talk about my Lifestream deck, and that wouldn't have happened without the Dionysus Dazen and Rage. Now, let me explain something before I explain this deck. I started playing a version of this deck without the Days and Rage, the Dionysus, all the things that make this really, really competitive and really, really fun for me. I started playing this deck, a version of it, in Moonrise, because I found these cards and I'm like, this would be fun if I could make it work. So I tried to make it work. Fast forward to now, this has been my deck all throughout Livestream. I've played Fire Artifact Krakatuga. I've played all sorts of different decks. I've even ventured to play a Penterror deck throughout the cycle of Livestream. But this has been my go-to, and that is Wasp Burn. Now, I say Wasp Burn. It is the Dionysus Wasp package, which we'll go through the card by card, but it is, in fact, a burn deck. That is something that this just is. So we got our two Wasp Ivy. These are the Frostfall Wasp Ivy. 8/1 Wasp Ivy. When it's destroyed in battle, the opponent must expend 3 spirits, as well as it's unaffected by counter runes if it ascends from Cyanectar, which is the whole point of the Cyanectars. When a player casts Poison Tipped Arrow, Poison Nectar, Poison Tunic, you can special ascend this Cyanectar into Wasp Ivy from hand or deck. Pair that with New Cyanectar, which searches all of the aforementioned cards that make the other Cyanectar ascend, and boom. You got a pretty decent combo and a pretty fun one. Of course, Dionysus is pivotal, so we got our Cyprongs, Champion of Dionysus, normal cast, search Dionysus, and then also the ability to target and destroy a 1 or 2 cost with 5 or more attack with a Cyprong's effect when he is dazed. We've got Equalinx. Equalinx wasn't always here, but Equalinx is here now, as well as our playset of base set Viscerus. This was, until very recently, a Firestorm Viscerus, but now we have all 3 legal, which means, yeah, in order to bling out this deck even more, I have to buy another one of the full art Viscerus there in order to make that happen. And then we've got 3 Rummagem. 3 Rummagem here are Searcher for any Earth Elestral. Moving on, we've got 2 Hopperoo, and this completes the Elestrals lineup. Hopperoo being like kind of a sneaky burn card, but also the Foretell, the Get an Earth card, pretty good. So these are our Elestrals. Of course, our real only big beater here would be the Wasp Ivy. You do have the Viscerus, can get upwards and to a high attack stat there. But the Wasp Ivy is the end game. That is the goal for this deck. Well, other than burning. So we've got 2 Dionysus here. And then we've got 3 Dionysus's Madness. Probably the best counter rune other than Gorgon's Gaze in this deck is the Dionysus Madness. And then we've got 3 Poison Nectars. 3 Poison Nectars here going in, trying to get that burn, trying to do that damage, as well as having an opponent discard a card. That is a great card to have. Then, of course, we're legal for our LGS, which means we can only have 2 of some of the Omni runes. So we've got 2 Gorgons, 2 Shield, 2 PTA. Of course, you would have a 3rd PTA here and less of the Poison Nectars if this wasn't legal, and you definitely have a 3rd Gorgon's Gaze as well. Then you've got Earthquake, 2 Ambro, 2 Poison Tunic. Poison Tunic is fantastic as the artifact, but it's also a burn card. It's what it's going to function as. And then for the 40th and final card, Eruption. We are going to burn our opponent out of spirits. That is the gameplay. Oops, made a mistake there. But that's the game plan. You're burning your opponent out of spirits, and the spirit math is very simple. 2 fire, 18 earth. I couldn't make a more simple spirit math unless it was all just one spirit, but we are running that one eruption. And if you get to the late game and you're just not seeing the eruption, you can go ahead and use the 2 Pyro for one of the Omni counter runes. Or even misenchanting something is funny sometimes, as long as it's not the Wasp Ivy getting misenchanted. Then we've got the side deck, and the spirit deck stays the same. The math will always stay the same. If you take out the eruption, you are probably going to just the first counter rune you use the Vipyros. We have side deck. This is Wasp Ivy, Champion of Dionysus. I don't like this one as much because it is not unaffected by counter runes, but there are situations where it has come up and it has been hilarious, dealing double damage because it's enraged always if it ascends from Cyanectar. Then, of course, any Dionysus build, I feel like if it's not main deck, you're running it in side deck, and that is the Drataya and Latagon. Latagon having the ability to search the Ambrosia, destroying a face-down rune if it's enraged, coming off the Drataya already enraged. It's a pretty decent combo. Then we've got 2 Sproutier Champs of Dionysus. These I have found to be somewhat usable in this deck. It's not heavy Nexus, which is why, for the longest time, even the Equilinks wasn't a main part of the deck, but was in the side deck, just because it's not a lot of Nexus, because you're wanting to use Dionysus to daze, or you're just wanting it on field. But searching out Madness or a Champion of Dionysus, Sproutier functions pretty well. I have to adjust. This camera angle is weird. I'm learning it, so I'm sorry. Then, next up, we've got 3 Nectar of the Gods, Dionysus's Chalice. I've only ever sided in 2 at a time, because most of the time you want to toss the one to get the other effect. But drawing 3 cards is pretty good. And then you've got 1 Vertolith. This has been a question mark in this deck for forever. I don't think I've ever sided this, but it can be an expensive deck, as most burn decks are, so I want to use it. Scythe of Demeter, I have sided in as more of a heal card there in order to heal the 1 Earth Spirit every time. I'm putting this always, every single time, on Wasp Ivy, or I'm putting it on the Viscerus. Also, buffing the defense so I'm not getting cryoblasted to the face is pretty nice. And then we've got 2 Spoiled Fruit and a 3rd Dionysus. This goes back and forth whether this Dionysus should be another Spoiled Fruit, or if I should just take out the Vertolith and have 2 Pandora's Boxes here. I haven't really decided that, because most of the time I'm not siding, just to be upfront and honest. I like the way the deck plays, and the way it plays well with the way I've built it. So if I'm siding, it's for the extreme matchup that I just cannot figure out. But this is the deck that I have taken to, and throughout Lifestream, to pretty much every event that I've been to. It's been there, whether I've played it for the event or played it for fun. But yeah, this is it. I hope you guys liked it. And hopefully this camera angle isn't too annoying, because this is what I plan to film pre-release with. Gonna have some fun stuff going on with that. But that's the video, and peace out, Panic Squad.